Hello and welcome. My name is Kaylee Jo and I make content all about my experiences as a theater educator. And welcome to Musical Monday, where I take a few minutes every Monday to share a little bit of background information on a musical title. And this week we are taking a look at the 17th longest running show on Broadway, and that is Grease. So please take a look in the description box down below for some great clips of this show. Grease premiered in a nightclub in Chicago in 1971. It featured music, lyrics, and book by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. In the beginning, the show, very much like the location it premiered in, was incredibly risque and vulgar, and it was actually rated R. But over the years, it has been toned down somewhat so that it can appeal to a broader audience. It premiered on Broadway the very next summer in 1972 and received 7 Tony Award nominations. There, it ran for 3,388 performances, which at the time was the longest running show on Broadway, and Grease actually held that title for 11 years until it was surpassed by A Chorus Line. The show would go on to become an iconically successful movie musical in 1978 starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. It would also undergo a few successful revivals, as well as become a live TV broadcast in 2016, and today it is a staple production for schools and community theater groups. Grease is set in the 1950s and follows the lives of two groups of teenagers. The T-Birds, a group of rough-and-tumble boys, and the Pink Ladies, their female counterparts. We very quickly meet our main characters of Danny, who is a member of the T-Birds, and Sandy, who is a new girl at his school, although it is quickly revealed that these two have actually met one another before during their whirlwind summer romance, which just took place, although neither of them believed that they would ever meet each other again. Sandy was elated to see Danny, but Danny really leans into his "I'm too cool for you" act in front of his friends, meaning that our lovers are not off to a great start, and their relationship continues to face challenges throughout the show. But eventually, Sandy decides that the best way to win Danny's heart is to act like and dress like the girl of his dreams, leading to our happily ever after. I'll be honest, this is one of those shows that is considered a classic, and like I mentioned before, it really is a staple for community theaters and school groups to perform. But something that I want to point out, just because I don't know if a lot of people realize this, is that whenever you really dig into the full version of this script, it definitely addresses some heavy topics, and I'm just putting that out there not to say that it is not a good show and is not worth performing or watching, but it might be a little heavier than you realize once you really dig into it. As we know it today, the group of male characters in the musical are referred to as the T-Birds, but in some of the early productions, they were actually called the Burger Palace Boys. In the musical, there is a pretty well-known song titled Greased Lightning, in which the T-Birds are working on a car that they intend to race in a street race against a rival group. And traditionally for this number, there is usually a life-size replica of a car on stage. So my question for you this week is as follows. If you could not have a life-size car on stage, what would be a creative solution that you could use instead? Please feel free to put all of your thoughts in the comments down below. That is all for this week's Musical Monday. If you enjoy theater and theater education related content, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, break a leg.